everyone, this is Swati from BNB Luxe. Uh, I have with me Payal Singh, who's a luxury influencer. I think Payal is here herself to introduce herself. So over to you, Payal.
So everybody, my name is Payal Sen and I am a digital creator and my major content creation lies in the space of fashion, luxury, lifestyle, travel, beauty and being a mother. So everything in this genre from products to consumption to little details, styling, where to eat, where to go, where to travel to, all of that. Of course, right now travel is not really happening, but within India, going to the hills or going somewhere is very possible. So all of that covers into my page, which you can check out. It's payal.sen.
Payal maintains her Instagram page where she regularly updates about her lifestyle and everything luxury that she herself is saying. So I'll divert your attention to BNB Lux as a segment that we have introduced in BNB as a brand, and Payal happens to be one of our BNB Luxury member. So Payal, first question: what inspired you to become an influencer?
So it actually happened to me by chance. Let me say I stumbled upon it because I was always in the fashion and lifestyle space. I actually started out over a decade ago with my own fashion label, and I quickly got out of manufacturing and into curating luxury exhibits by the name of 10 on 10, where I would showcase only 10 high-end fashion week designers, predominantly Delhi and Bombay based. From that, it moved further. I started doing pop-ups for international labels. I have worked with most of the Genesis brands at the Emporio, which had events for Christian Louboutin, Coach, Jimmy Choo, the works. So I've been doing all of that. So I've been hosted, launches for them, lots of stuff in the retail space. So once we started doing that, then it got more and more in maybe say before the lockdown last year. So before lockdown one was constantly, just posting a little bit about travel, eating, going out, whatever. And then it just became more and more. And suddenly my audience just started growing organically, like boomed. I resonated with them. They connected with me. And then they would tell me what more they wanted to see. And I just went on that sphere, always keeping fashion, styling, lifestyle as my main forte. And of course, the audience also that I had is for a luxury space. So it just went into that, and now it's been a year and a half or maybe more than that, where it's become a full-time thing. So yeah, that's how the journey happened.
That's quite interesting. Would you mind telling about your first profession, your first stint? It can be any small job or any kind of business that you started. You did share about
I said that 10 years ago, I started my own fashion label by the name of Payal Sen. I did exhibitions, solo exhibitions and multi-brand exhibitions all over India actually. But then I quickly got out of manufacturing because I knew that I didn't want that. See, by qualification, I have a double MBA, a dual MBA in international business and marketing. So I'm not a fashion designer by profession. So I got out of that, but I knew that my forte lies in bringing an event together. So that was always my space. I knew how to do that. I knew how to bring it together. I knew how to curate the brands, and I knew how to curate the buyer. So I knew how to bring the brand and the client together. That was always what I was good at. So it started from there.
Okay. What kept you away from the corporate side of, the brands? Like, you could even have been a luxury brand manager of a company. Just asking, at that time this profession was very lucrative.
Yeah, so I didn't actually grow up in Delhi. I studied since I was in the 10th grade in UK. So I was in a boarding school there, and then I did university there. After I got married, I was based in New York. So the influencer marketing space was already established
outside.
I'd say, yeah, it was already there. I mean, even back when I was studying, it wasn't as big or anything as it is now. But I'd say like 10 years ago, it was still already there. And now it's come in here. So I didn't move into the corporate side because I was always in the luxury space. That's the market I understand. That's the market's trigger that I know.
You had
so
your
I like so I like to stick to the market that I know and that I'm good at.
Okay. So I think that was an added advantage that you could procrastinate the thing coming in, the trend coming in, the rise of
Yeah, see,
social
I see.
media.
Absolutely. When it comes to influencing and stuff like that, I like being at the micro level because um, it's a genuine and organic following, and that shows when you post for a brand and they send you messages saying we get so many sales based on your posts, rather than having bot followers. Your number on top will show you've got so many followers, but what is the conversion?
Yes.
So that then it starts dwindling. So that's why I've never chased numbers, as you can say, never really chased that kind of thing. So it just works. That's where it works.
And what has changed since the time you began the career in influencer marketing, like influence as an influencer? What has changed?
What is, as in what part? The industry or what?
So I'll give you a cue, like how the paradigm shift from page 3 pages to now being into on Instagram and topping the
Okay,
trend.
so the one thing I like to say is that a lot of people can have tried or try to become an influencer because they think that just by having a certain number of following makes you an influencer. That's not true. An influencer is somebody who people aspire to imbibe, aspire to be like something about them is keeping them enamored, right? So they want to they like to follow your style, they like to follow, they like where you are traveling to, they like the kind of destinations they go to. If you're into sports tourism, or if you're into going to the best places to eat, and like it doesn't have to be only fancy 5-star hotels, it can be like in every travel destination you find out the local places to eat. So everybody has their own beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can only sustain yourself as an influencer if you keep your audience engaged day on day, every day, because it's one click of a button for them to unfollow you and you're forgotten.
Yes.
Right? So everybody, that's what I'm saying, everybody can't, like they can try but they don't succeed, right? Because at the end of the day, it's how much and for how long you can keep your audience's attention.
Right.
So that's why everyone should stick to their beat. Everybody can't do everything, and as long as you're sticking to your beat, it's fine.
Absolutely. Because
So that's how I think the industry's changed. There are various type of people you want to follow for what they show you, for what they portray.
So that's what I mean, that you might have seen people changing, the pattern changing from maybe just posting on Facebook something to now Instagram and making reels.
It's definitely become much more structured, I'd say, because now platforms have come up where they actually provide the right influencer for the right category. Like a Coca-Cola would need a certain kind of a person. Now we live in a country which is India. Let's face it, the real influencers here are your cricket stars and your Bollywood. No one beats them in this country. So that's the real influencer variety.
So celebrities have always topped the chart in terms of influencing, but I think the term influencer then vary. Like even in a neighborhood, maybe a female influencing other females to come to a neighborhood club and do certain.
Absolutely, you can. Not only that, it's even in a school. You can look up to somebody in class 12. The juniors can look up. They want to be like that person because they like something about that person.
Yeah. So it has now become much clear that on social media, it's calculated, it's very analytics driven. That's how, influencer as a game, and everybody has started to make it really strong. Right?
Yeah, but also like there are a lot of mental health issues that crop up as well, which have been addressed in a lot of ways. You have to be very sensitive in the way you post.
Right. So that's what, responsible blogging or Instagramming. That's what is now more a difficult thing to channel in your.
Like you can't be brash. You can't be, insensitive to what is going on in the country. You can't be insensitive to what is going on in a certain group in a country. You have to be politically correct.
Yeah, like the very clear example is the recent, scene of the COVID-2 outbreak. Where there were a lot of backlashes, and influencers did shift their focus towards helping out and connecting the leads.
Of course, and they did a very good job.
Yes, absolutely. So that was the true power of influential marketing.
That was the real power of being an influencer, because nobody knew the person they are helping. It was somebody helping somebody. Nobody had a name. So it was really what humanity is about.
True. Absolutely. Thank you, Payal. I think the second question was also to the point as per your score. And so there are always a struggle that everybody faces in their, stint of career. So in influence, being an influencer, what are the struggles and everyday struggle that you face? Or you can even share some instances of struggle from the time you started to now.
So I'd say like now, because one is grown, like it's been growing so much, I really think that because I'm a mother, I have two children, I have my house to run, I've got other things to do as well, and you need to focus a lot of time every day. It's a full on job. You know what I mean? It's not that you just click something one day and you can post it and you'll have the same following. No, it's an everyday job. Time management is a struggle because this work is 24/7. It's always going on.
And
People are constantly.
It can't go without editing. Just sharing.
Yeah, no, you need to edit. You need to digitally do like compilations and things like that. Like just by showing like how now IGTV is out and reels are in, the algorithms keep changing. You have to keep knowing what's going on. It's a very fast-moving line of work. What was happening 3 weeks ago, people have forgotten. So you need to keep on pushing a lot of things. So yeah, time management for that to run your rest of your life and have a balance is a everyday. Like for me personally, I have lists for things to be done for the house, for my house, for work, for children, for family. And if it's not on the list, it doesn't get done. So it has to be there. So time management it's a everyday struggle.
True. And you need to be in the constant recall of your audience. So you really need to keep,
and you need to be relevant. You need to be relevant.
Absolutely, yeah. And so this was your personal struggle, but in terms of the brand side, like any struggle in terms of collaborating, businesses are down. So it's like a complete cycle, It's everything is
so so this is where your own like USP comes out, or your own personality, or what you're going to do about the situation. So for me, when COVID hit and a lockdown happened, I realized in 1 minute that there are so many brands that just about launched in 2019. They were all gung-ho, they're all younger, and they were all set but have taken such a setback. And now they're back, they want to work, but they can't afford an influencer marketing fee, or they can't afford a shop, or they can't afford to do an exhibition because no one wants to come to a crowded space. So I put out a message saying that I'll be happy to promote a certain number of brands on a first come first serve basis, and I actually promoted 20 brands for free for them. So it was a great way to keep your page going, keep your own creativity going, and to help out these brands. And then another thing that I did was people were still, like I said, looking to shop, but in like a certain price point. So I actually supported a charity called Sai Foundation, which was doing COVID relief work for rural India, where nobody was focusing on. Everyone was focusing on the cities and the hospitals and the oxygen and things like that, where rural India was really crying and bleeding. So I did my own personal wardrobe sale. So I photographed, sold a lot of stuff. Of course, it slashed down prices because they're used items. And we sent it all out. We gave all the money to the foundation, and they were so happy. So these are the ways to keep your audience engaged, the way to keep yourself to do good, to give back to society. Use your platform in a positive way to help people.
That was a sensitive side.
Yeah. So it's important to use your platform not only in a responsible way, but to be sensitive to what is going on. If you see that there is a problem in the market that exists, you can find a solution. That is where my personality as me as Payal Sen, how am I different from another influencer or whatever it is, how everybody is different from each other. I mean, say supposing someone is into food or someone's into sport, maybe they did things in their own way, but me being in this space, I said I can sell certain amount of things and give the money all to charity. Why not? I can have my platform, which is a luxury platform, and promote brands which want to be luxury. Why not?
True. So can you describe that particular day during the second lockdown, which was an anxiety day for almost the entire nation, where they thought lockdown, oh, here again, and what will happen? And how did you strategize sitting that day? That, okay, these are my things and I need to be on, my track focus. Yeah.
No, it didn't happen like that, because when the whole country sentiment is down, you are also down. You also get affected. So it doesn't happen overnight. But when you're sitting and you're thinking, thoughts do come to you then. But because even on my page, me as and my team together, we were putting out a lot of stuff for helping the people, giving out information, verified information. We were doing all that as well. But that was then only information giving. We needed to do more. So it just comes as a process. As the days go by, ideas come through.
True.
Yeah.
As the day went by, I think it came to people thought that they should now be on the track. There's no point pausing and stagnating.
Yeah.
So normally, what brands do you gravitate towards as a luxury influencer?
Like in what? In fashion, in life, like in what? In restaurants? What do you do?
You can quote examples of any category that you are more into. Let's suppose fashion, lifestyle as a brand. So what brands do you gravitate more?
I love international labels for the accessories. I like to indulge in those, like whether it's a Chanel or whether it's a Christian Louboutin and things. And I've worked with Louboutin and all in the past as well. So those are for accessories from the Indian designers, Siddharth Taitla, Rohit Rahul Gandhi, Varun Bell, House of Exotic, various ones which are in the luxury space. But when it comes to these new brands that I promoted, there are quite a few of them, quite a few good ones there. There's Shop Khayat, there's Nothing to Wear India, there's Roshan Co jewelry. There's so many made in India, authentic, traditional wear also in a good price point. So one likes to experiment with that also for their everyday clothing and things like that.
So you believe you've added these in your kitty over the period of time? And
because I totally believe in you can spend a little bit more money but buy things that last longer, and you can keep styling them, and I'll keep showing you different ways to style things so you can wear your outfits more and have more value for your money, rather than that thing of I don't want to repeat my clothes. So sustainable luxury.
I think there has to be the perfect balance of resorting to always the luxury segment brands that you would want to tie up with, and definitely the homegrown labels that are emerging on a daily basis, and those are very fascinating as well.
No, they're very, very talented.
Very talented.
And they are going to grow very big as well.
Yeah. So that's how you definitely would maintain your niche as luxury influencer, but in terms of choosing the brand, you have to play the very right way of
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've done enough work for even Zara. So even when you club a Zara with a Chanel, it looks amazing. Why not? Because they're very stylish clothes.
Yeah. And it's about the complete thing. So there are 10 things in the life of an influencer in a single hour. 10 brands that can play the role, and you can definitely make the right mix of it.
Yeah. In fact, I have a segment which is called Payal's Top 5 Friday. So even in the Top 5 Friday category, there's, it's all very organic content, because that's when my personality comes out. Even during the COVID times, I can tell you, I was doing 5 ways to maintain a positive mind. So you do various things depending on the sentiment of the country. I can tell you 5 ways to style a 5 white shirt. I can tell you 5 things to not eat after 8 p.m. if you're on a diet. It's just a whole space of lifestyle which covers different areas, from food to fashion to travel to exercise to whatever comprises of a healthy life.
So I'm getting to know now that you've created certain property 5 ways every Friday. So what are certain other properties that you would want to share with the viewers, which you have created? It's your niche property.
So I do a lot of work under beauty as well. So whether it's from dermatologists or products that I'm using, products that I'm endorsing. So I keep trying them out myself, and then giving the information and the feedback to the viewers.
Okay. So I meant certain properties that you created, maybe a Wednesday or a Friday, some kind of this thing that.
So I have a Top 5 Friday. I might come up with one which is Dress Up with Payal. I did a few of them in the past, but we need to separate. If it's a Top 5 Friday, you separate from a Dress Up, because then the Top 5 Friday shouldn't have the Dress Up. So now it's all in one. So we will try and separate.
Yeah. So I think the Top 5 Friday also, I think, is one of your salient feature, I'm sure, because I was just going through your page, and I think those are really prominent. You keep it routine.
Separate. Yeah.
So since you work in the luxury influencer space, where do you draw the line and what qualifies you as a luxury influencer?
But having been a buyer and you know, person who's always sort of tended to be dressed in luxury herself, I think one knew, and also having been a designer, so knew what went into it. What is the what is quality of a fabric, what is quality of the embellishments, what is, how long does it take. So even in India, when you have luxury from an Indian designer, besides cut and stitch, it's the quality of the embroideries. Even when I was promoting all the Indian designers, because I was working with the Fashion Week lot, it was always a focus on, say, a Western silhouette, but with the Indian craftsmanship. So the Indian craftsmanship is where your haath ka kaam, your adda ka kaam, all that comes in. And even if it is Indian clothes, of course, there you have from A to Z. You have from Chandni Chowk to Emporio. They're all Indian clothes. So how do you differentiate? It is the durability of the fabrics, the non-tarnishing of the crystals, the sequins, the higher-end quality, a basic shine versus a high-end shine. Also educating the market about that, right?
Right. Luxuries can be very different to one and can be very different to another.
Yeah, absolutely. Some people are not interested in the quality. They just want the look. They only want to wear it once. So for them, it doesn't matter whether it's going to last for 2 years or 5 years or 10 years. You know?
Because technically, according to me, luxury is when a product's benefit is realized and it becomes more than the product. The real value is,
See, a luxury is all about quality. It's all about the quality. Whether it is food, whether it is a beauty product, whether it is a lifestyle product like a piece of jewelry, or whether it is this thing. Everything is about quality. Now, if you've got good quality, it's going to be sustainable for much longer. You buy a cheaper quality, there's going to be breakage, there's going to be damage. Which for some people in the market, like I say again, it doesn't matter to them. They're only going for the look. But for some people, they will not. They will only go for the highest. So it depends on the budget of the person also. You know, whether they want to put all the money into one product or they want to buy 10 products.
So I'm sure in that also you must be really adept enough to give some tips like how to make a perfect balance, because not everybody has that kind of a budget to always
Absolutely. Like I said, you can mix and match high street with high end.
The right combination of different levels of people.
And also I do a segment like, where a newer designer will give you the same kind of a look and feel as a senior designer.
So, coming to the next question, what's your favorite way to collaborate with the brands and businesses?
First of all, I have to resonate with the brand or the product or the thing. If I don't think that I would use it in my own life, I'm not going to endorse it. That's why I don't let them send me whatever they feel like, because if I don't, it's not part of me, it's not my lifestyle, I'm not going to sell out and say, okay, I'll do it for you. No, it has to go in sync with me. And if it is going in sync with me, that means you will see me in different pictures wearing that same thing again or again in different places, because it's genuinely something I like. Or if I'm hosting a table at a restaurant, it's because I would genuinely like to go there for eating my meals on and off.
In terms of consumption, I think you definitely would want to resort to anything that match up to your profile or your choices.
I see all influencers, first of all, we have come into that category of influencers because we already have a certain lifestyle, right? Because whether you're a travel destination or a food person or a luxury fashion thing, you are already in that space, you are already a buyer, you are already a consumer. So you got the expertise which you could impart to other people. So when you collaborate, it could be gifted, it could be barter, it could be paid for. There are different ways of collaborating. So once you reach a different stage, different following, like people who are the conversion rate, then comes in the charging for an ad.
But are there any time when the brand had gifted you something and you feel like giving a shout out to them won't harm you? So do you do that even if it's not like you're using it? But even if it comes as a hamper, say like businesses, those are rising and
See, if I've liked something and if I was just bought it on my own and I've really liked it and just want to share it with people, I'll tag it. So it really depends on how much I like the product.
That's what. So nowadays everyone's doing so creative, and I think everyone has understood the importance of packaging and branding and there are so many people and hands-on, with with the creative with the creative bent of mind, that every brand is able to afford at least, that brand style. Maybe something matches up to a luxury segment brand, is just aiming to be that luxury, but is not that luxury, but is in the route map to be that luxury level. So I think everyone's able to do that pretty decent. So in terms of that, are you able to distinguish it, and you feel like, let's give it a shout out?
First of all, I think packaging itself is a separate industry altogether now.
Absolutely.
People who are like doing so much packaging that
Absolutely.
they want you to promote the packaging, and the products they send with it is just by the way.
Yeah.
It's more about how is that cake packaged, or how is that wine bottle packaged, or how are you giving the lifafa. All that is becoming industry.
Yes,
and it's super talented for sure.
Yeah. I think that also. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. And personalization has become so huge.
Yeah, I think that has come more of from the trend of gifting and hampers.
And that trend, because of COVID, has gone up higher, because everybody is not able to do big weddings, but they just want to send out a gift to everybody saying that bless us, and things like that.
True. People who must have missed out on it, they just want to recall them.
Yeah.
How do brands normally reach out to you?
So I have a team also who coordinates with all the brands. They convert, message them, email them, and all that. A lot of them come to me through other, PR companies and things like that. Who, maybe one or two know me, and then they message you directly on Instagram as well. They email you. These are the different ways of reaching out.
Okay, so you just mentioned about your team. So would you want to share that? How you have?
So I have a lovely team now, because I can't do the content planning and the shooting and the collaboration and everything for one person to do it beyond a point. The way I've been posting is it's a very active page. So I have a main page post 6 times a week, and every day, 7 days a week, I have 3 different story categories. So that's a lot of content in a week, every week. So for that, there's somebody who's coordinating with all the brands, because coordinating with brands is a couple of hours a day.
Yeah.
Totally. So so that's why. So we are a couple of us, and we all in sync together, and then it gets the boat sailing smoothly. Even like shoots, to coordinate with the photographer, makeup artist, venue, everything has to be all done seamlessly for it to get a good quality. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. What seems very rosy and easily put up in the form of a post and a story.
That's why a lot of people come and go, but only a few sustain themselves.
Absolutely. And then they not just sustain, they emerge as a separate identity altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you are identified as common set of people with like-minded setup of activity and lifestyle. So just sharing my bit of it, I'll skip that bit out of the edited part. So that's how the B&B Luxe segment is for us. In different cities, there are some sort of brands and businesses who are always, you can say, they're always in the top chart, and even the personalities are a brand only. So they're always the top chart. So our main motto to make this segment of B&B Luxe is to identify such people, influencers and brands, because even now brand sites are turning to influencers, promoting each other's stuff. If you see about the collaboration of Masaba with Nykaa or Manish Malhotra with Masaba, it's all about that only. They're all brand personalities, So with their name, they are tying up and unleashing each other's luck.
And then what is happening? Nykaa reaches out to people like me. And that's how a Masaba or a K Beauty, which is Katrina Kaif, or a Manish Malhotra, how are they reaching every home? It's because of us.
Absolutely. Because anything that's locally produced, even with an international ingredient, is first treated as very local, in the word local. But nowadays, the Indian audience have made the shift of mind and are using local products only because of the influencers. If the influencers are, making them count, making them, showing them more. So I think K Beauty was an excellent example of how it has caught up the mind of a lot of consumers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the general Bobby Brown and all these are always topping the chart. But again, there's always room for everyone. The
Of
universe is
course.
big to contain everyone, and there's everything for everyone. That's how the share for lipstick, even if it has increased in spite of wearing the mask, I think it's all about getting ready
Yeah.
even at the comfort of your home and
Yeah.
celebrating each home. Yeah. So that's what I meant, that, the luxury segment of people. By this, we mean that, uh, in different cities, in the 12 identified cities, we are making B&B Lux segment people. And these are the people who might be on independent entrepreneur women who have businesses, who have the business background, who are little socially active offline. And yes, they are eventually becoming more active online space also. So you may find somebody who's even having a 2,500 followers on Instagram.
Doesn't matter. It's the right
Yeah.
followers.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That, so that's what this interaction is very important for me to even explain you the idea that certain other females would want to identify with each other. Like even
Yeah.
if it's in Ahmedabad, there's a very amazing lady
So
who
then
does.
that becomes like a women entrepreneur forum almost.
We will think about it later, but right now we're just filtering the right set of people who are so
Who
starting.
qualify and who would probably be in the right.
Yeah, because that has always been a choice. We remember going to Pune and doing our first meetup in the year 2017, and the find was all very authentic, sitting at the comfort of Delhi and office, and we can even do a virtual meet with everybody before setting up a meet. And then we used to send and fly the photographers, the videographers, the crew members from here to interview them. And then, we close those brands. So whatever we close eventually, who turned up on the B&B meetup were all the people who were knowing each other, who were the who's and who's of Pune as a city or Jaipur as a
That's
city.
great. Yeah.
So we realize that that's our forte. We're always on point in terms of filtering the right kind of people. So that was the meetup for the influencers.
Right.
Back then, people were not. Back then, people were not influencer, the brands. But yes, now the shift has become. Yep.
Yeah. So it's kind of a space which takes a little bit of time to understand what's going on, especially like in my mother's generation. She had no idea what I was doing. She couldn't understand it. Then as she saw over time that how it all works, now they've totally understood it. But initially, she didn't understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's a very new, it's what they call a new age business.
Yeah, maybe the popularity index, now the new generation is also educating that, this is the trend, this is the goal.
Yeah. And it's a very lucrative line.
Yeah.
Because you see now publications, physical magazines and all, no one is really buying because everything is online. They themselves are online.
Yeah. So it definitely took some time, but I think not just COVID, but pre-COVID time also, when digital marketing was.
It was starting to pick up.
Yeah. So coming back to the formal question, Ron, I'll ask you another question. Yeah. What do you see as the future of social media influencers such as yourself?
See, social media influencing as a space is constantly changing and constantly evolving. You cannot have such a long timeline plan because the algorithms are constantly changing. So many things are constantly changing. Right. So you can only say you have to work with like your long-term plans can always be that how you want to promote a brand and what are the various angles you want to take to promote that brand, which will be your USP. But how you want to do it will keep changing. Because you don't know, Reels is a new addition. IGTV had become new. Now the timeline of the Reels changes. So algorithms are constantly changing. If you now today buy followers, which thankfully I've never done, Instagram can track that and your account can be disqualified. So that can also happen. So, like you don't know, you cannot plan 5 years. You cannot plan a long-term plan. You can only have plans on how you want to keep improving your creativity. That's what you can really work on. And on more segments, like I have beauty, I have like a travel, I've got kids section, I've got cooking, I've got restaurants. So anything more, which will reflect more and more of my personality. That's the only areas that you can sort of, create more content in. But evolving is a process that's going to happen maybe every week. Depends on the algorithms, right?
Absolutely. And you must have
Yeah.
taken some time to get hands on to reels, and you must have
Yeah,
taken.
because initially I never liked reels. I was like, what is this? First, it was 15 seconds. I was like,
Yeah,
my IGTVs are like, now I'm doing proper makeup tutorials also. I'm like, how am I supposed to show this in 15 seconds, 30 seconds? So you have to change everything. How? Because 30 seconds means what? That means your audience's time span or attention span is only that much. That's
right,
why they've come up with that time span, right? So you
right,
then have to concise it. There's going to be completely pictorial based. So you have to evolve that way, which means you need a full-on digital team, you need a full-on videographer, photographer. So your team again
yeah,
has to be there in place.
yeah.
So
So true. So gaining so much insight around your around genre, and definitely the way you adopt it as a lifestyle every day, which is not artificial, and you live it every day, right?
yeah. You have to.
Yeah, yeah. So that's your choice, and you enjoy it, and that's how you have made it
And
as
the
a
main
profession.
thing, the main thing is consistency. You cannot not do something because it didn't click. You have to keep at it,
Right.
and
So,
it will click.
right. So I'll just ask you some quick questions, which can be
Yeah.
you listing some pointers, which will, give a lot of tips and tricks to the viewers, maybe who want to be somebody like you. So,
Yeah.
would you quote some 5 things that you did offbeat during the time when pandemic struck? It can be anything, giving a cue, taking the local destination as a vacation spot, and definitely enjoying nature. Yeah.
No, so I didn't understand the question.
Any
5 things
five
that
things
I
that
did.
offbeat that you normally don't do. Like normally people might take an international vacation, but you definitely took something which is local, and you enjoyed the nature and the landscape. That happened in COVID. So did you do some other 4 thing? Like it can be life, it can be bicycling, or it can be going to a park just for a picnic. These all things we don't even do.
Okay, so I took up meditation in a big way.
Yes.
So I'm now practicing Buddhist. It's been over a year and a half. That happened to me in lockdown. So that was one thing which was different.
Okay.
Secondly, a lot of cooking. That's why now I have a cooking segment altogether. So cooking was another thing that I took to.
Okay.
I'm a Virgo, and if all Virgos have OCD, so I reorganized every shelf and every cupboard space and all of that. So that was fun, which you don't usually do. In terms of going out and cycling and all that, that one was doing in the colony. So that's normal. That's nothing out of the box for me as such. Yeah. So I've just a few other new segments in the program, and more working from home kind of things.
Yeah.
And organizing the house and working on your own peace of mind.
Yeah. So normally people feel that what can be the life of somebody like you. So that's why I wanted to put this thing to the viewers, that normally everybody does this. Like meditation should be
So I mean, for people who are looking to become influencers, it is everyday work. It is everyday hard work, and you need to be very focused and very calm. Everything that you envision in your head might not come out on screen the way it's done if you're not mentally peaceful. So you have to work on your own peace of mind. You have to work on removing your own negative tendencies like hyperness or things like that, because that will not work, and that will come out on the screen as well. It is everyday work. It is hard work. So it's not that, I can work 3 days a week and I'll be an influencer. It doesn't work like that.
You're so right. I need 5 recent collaboration with the brand. So the brand name.
Gaia, Devika Bhayana, Salts and Sands, Nia Jewelry, Snart Titler, House of Exotic. There's lots. July is full.
All right. Do you miss the offline events that were organized? Those were organized.
Oh yes, I do miss them, because just the hustle and bustle of everyone coming together, the whole drinks and cheese, and the photographers, and having maybe a Bollywood celebrity come in for the launch. The shopping events where everyone's like so happy to go home with something new. Of course, that one misses, but I think it's still a faraway thing to get that kind of a number of people together.
5 things which you feel that you can step out with it, and you will be framed as somebody from a luxury persona. Yeah. 5 things. Yeah, maybe I'm just giving an example, just a bag. So 5 things you
Um,
want Mister to step out with.
Big black sunglasses, a statement broad belt, um, not a big bag, but a really thin sling with just a money clip in it, because now no one needs to carry too many things around. So that's three. A, designer
Branded
masks, yeah, branded masks, and a really good blow dry.
Okay. Do you miss the blow? Did you miss the blow dry session?
Yeah, that's why I learned how to do my own hair really well, and now I've told my audience about how to do your hair yourself. What are the
Wow.
gadgets? What are the products?
So the viewers must check out your Instagram page, and then they should.
Yeah, they keep asking on their own only now what they want to see.
Okay. So 5 years from now, how do you want to see yourself?
Um, Definitely, again, the numbers would have grown organically, and definitely more and more prominent as someone to reckon with. Someone whose posts are not bullshit and not for the sake of posting. It's you see the page, there is a purpose to each post, and there is actually information to each segment. So something that's you look up to, you inspire to, and to be considered approachable, that they can actually DM me and ask me things, and they will get some reply.
Any other 5 influencers like how you feel you relate to and you would want to collaborate with them? I mean, in terms of any short activity that you can do virtual.
Yeah, well, Masoom, Meena Wala, everyone wants to. I think she's great at what she does. I think her content is also very relevant. That's why. I think the Ali edit is from Bombay, she's really good with the way she does her reels and all. I really like that. Then I have a couple of other friends who are in this space, like Amrita Thakur. Then there is opinion brunette in Bombay again, which is Himani. I like the way she photographs products. So there's something I like about different people. And of course, there's a whole lot of food bloggers who are really amazing. The way they talk about the food, the way they talk about the ingredients, it's just a way of description that I really like.
Yeah, they accentuate the entire quotient of the.
Yeah, and and not only that, then they just tell you where to source which authentic ingredients, which is also an art. Like different parts of India offer so many ingredients, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of in-depth knowledge in there.
So I think Payal, that was I think a plethora of important tips and information from your daily life that you as a luxury influencer imbibe in your life on a daily basis, and I think that must be really useful for our users and viewers. And I think thank you so much for sparing your time for
Most welcome.
this session. And I think we can just say a casual bye to the viewers, but we will be hooked up still for the 2-minute last chat. So I think
Okay, bye. It was
just
really
give a
good to be
just
able
give a
to.
shout out where all you can be found, what all platforms are you
Sure. So I'm very active on my Instagram page, payal.sen. Follow me and DM me for anything you specifically want to know about in the lifestyle space, and I will definitely incorporate that in. And anything you want to know about me, just give me a shout out. I'm there to answer.
And viewers of BNB, I think we'll soon host a physical BNB meet wherein we can rope in BNB Luxe member from the Delhi edition, which is one is Payal and the other also in the list. So yeah, I think that was a great session with Payal. We'll sign off with it. Thank you so much.